Hey, in this video, I am going to show you how I used AI to 10 times the results on an email campaign for a student of ours. So if you're interested in how to use AI to improve your cold email outreach, this video is for you. I'm going to give you all the prompts. I'm going to give you a document with all the steps I took, everything behind it. I'm going to show you real world results and what's going on. Yeah, we're going to cover all of that in this video, which, by the way, was brought to you by SmartDirectory.ai, one of the best ways to sell AI services out there. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So I'm going to dive right into the content because we have a lot of stuff to cover. So if you look over here, here's the document that I'm going to give you access to. If you'll do me a favor and just like this video, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, pop a comment below, I will send you a link to this document so you can download it. It has all the prompts, all the tech stack, all the tools, everything that I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be going over all of this stuff as we progress through the video. So let me talk a little bit about why this video. So we had one of our Smart Directory AI users reach out to me, and they had started a cold email campaign. They had sent some cold email out to 3,500 businesses in the North Dallas area, and they weren't happy with the results. So they asked me, like, what should I do? How should I put this together? And that got me thinking, I think there's a lot of people out there that would like to see how you can use AI to not only improve your cold email outreach, but also give you exact step-by-steps of what to do next, how to make it better. So you're not just sitting there wondering, well, what do I do now, right? So that is exactly what I'm going to go through here. So first of all, I want to kind of point this out. The industry standard for open rates with cold email is 5% or less. Now, you're going to see right here on these email stats, we sent out an email to 3,500 small businesses in the North Dallas area. We got a 20% open rate and a 7% clicked rate, which is way above the industry standard. Now, one of the reasons that we were able to do that is because of the strategy that we're using. So basically what this person is doing is they've set up a little local community website for the North Dallas area. They're adding businesses and they're emailing them, letting them know that they have a free listing on the community resource website. And then on the back end of that, they're selling AI marketing services to those businesses. So already just this different approach, not reaching out to people trying to sell them something or reaching out to them as a marketing agency, but reaching out to them from this community resource website has already improved the cold email results considerably. So again, the tech stack we use for this is HighLevel, which if you're not familiar with HighLevel, it's kind of like an all-in-one AI operating marketing business system. It does everything. It's our CRM. It allows us to send the emails, to do automations, and it also allows us to provide AI services that are really easy to fulfill to local businesses. So we use that, and we use SmartDirectory.ai as the brand or the entity that we're prospecting from. So that's our tech stack. If you're not familiar with any of those or you want to check them out, I actually spoke at the HighLevel event just recently in Dallas. So I was able to arrange a free trial from them. So in the description of this video, there's a link for that. You can sign up for a free trial of HighLevel. You can sign up for a free trial of Smart Directory AI as well. So you can check those out and see exactly what we're doing, the strategy, all that stuff we're doing. However, if you're not a directory user or you're not using Smart Directory AI, what I'm going to show you in this video works extremely well for any type of cold email outreach you're doing. Whatever process you're doing, you can follow these steps, use these prompts to improve it and make it better and get better results. So with our 20% open rate and 7% click rate, that means roughly 772 businesses or people open the email. We got 239 clicks, but only 2 replied, which is a 0.26% reply rate. Now, this tells me right away that, hey, our emails got attention, this strategy is working, but there's something in the email that just wasn't quite right, that didn't give the trust or the credibility to the person to follow through on the process and reach back out and let us know that their business information was correct. Now, we did do some follow-up here. We sent them through a 5-email sequence. So these are stats for the entire sequence. Follow-up is a big key to cold email outreach. I'm going to talk some more about that as we kind of go through the video. But already you can see this is very promising. Like, a lot of people, when they get results, like they get, they just feel like, oh, I put in all this work, I sent all this out, and like I only got a 0.26% reply rate. Hey, but you got replies, right? Like, we got 772 people to open our email. Like, that is huge. So this is the starting point. Now we can fix it. And this is the difference between pro marketers and amateur marketers. People that really are on the path to success with AI and people that are going to struggle. When people see these kinds of things, they tend to just give up. But this is how real success looks. We take action, we put something in place, we do it, then we evaluate our results, we make changes, and we do it again. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how we do that. So again, the tech stack, HighLevel SmartDirectory.ai. And to start off, before I get into the actual nuts and bolts of how I did this using ChatGPT to make this better and get steps, I want to talk a little bit about just cold emailing in general. So first off, a lot of people just kind of brush over the list. Like, they'll use AI to scrape a list, or they'll use some kind of scraping tool. Maybe they'll buy a list and they think, well, just because they have this list, like, this list is good, and if they send emails to it, people will respond. But really, 80% of your success in cold outreach is going to come down to your list. So what makes a good list? What makes a bad list? Well, one of the things that I have always preached is quality over quantity. So one of the things that I might recommend to this person who sent out 3,500 emails is, like, that's a lot of emails to be sending out without really knowing what kind of responses we're going to get, right? So I would prefer to maybe batch this up into smaller amounts, maybe 250 or 500, send out, look at our results, and then make changes, and then continue on through the list, right? So that right there, like sending things out in big bulk, usually can kind of hurt what you're trying to do. So while scrape lists and things like that are convenient, right? They're easy to put together, they're easy to get a hold of. Now you can use AI to build them. They are not the best quality of leads. The best quality leads you're going to find, specifically if you're trying to sell marketing services or AI services, are the people in your own backyard. So one of the things that I always recommend people do is, when you're driving around just throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, just start becoming a cataloger of all the businesses you see. Those businesses really have the ability to be turned into paying clients more quickly than from a list that you scrape. So if you are building a list using AI, just keep in mind that that list is not going to be as good of quality as if you were just had a smaller list of real high quality businesses in your area that you can really lean into this local approach with. So list quality and targeting before anything else. Go through your list, make sure you don't have duplicates, make sure you're not sending to big corporations. I find those are much harder to turn into paying clients quickly. We want to really be focused on the small business owner in our own backyard that we have a real chance of having a conversation with, providing value to, and ultimately being able to offer our AI services. So some of the things you look for in your list quality are relevance, accuracy, segmentation, source, right? Where is the data coming from? How's it segmented? Is it accurate? Is it not? And are these businesses that you have to be realistic with yourself. Are these businesses that I can actually turn into paying clients? So there are some services out there that you can run your scrape list through, like Never Bounce and other things like that. That can help clean up your lists on a surface level so you get better deliverability and results like that. Now, the second thing we look at when it comes to cold email is the subject line, right? This is really what drives open rates. Now, you can see here, and this particular person said, look, I want better than 20%, which I get, but 20% is pretty strong. I mean, 772 people open this email. That's a great start. So look, I know the subject line is working in this email. Yes, maybe we could test some other things, see if we can get that up, right? But I would probably start changing something else first because this is getting opens. And again, I don't know the quality of that list of 3,500 businesses this person sent to or anything like that. I don't know where they got it. So this 20% may be spectacular for the quality of that list. So if you do need to change your subject line though, here are some things that I would maybe try to do. The subject line that we sent out for this was just, is this business info correct for, and it had their business name in the subject line. So here's some other ones that you could do. You could make it personal, right? Like a quick question about, and then have their business name in there. You could make it relevant. Can I feature their business name on NorthDallasThrive.com? It could be curiosity driven, right? North Dallas businesses we're spotlighting this week, things like that. So these are all things that we could test as we move forward as well. And you're going to see these kind of like funny looking bracket things in this doc. So HighLevel, the software that we use in our tech stack, it actually fills in this personalized information automatically. So we don't have to go back and do this for every single email we send out. That's why we love HighLevel so much. So it makes the emails very personal with their business information, and we don't have to go in and do it for each one. So things that you want to avoid with your subject lines: data verification, information update, support team, or anything corporate sounding. Those can kind of trigger spam filters and really distrust. Here's one thing about the new age of AI and businesses. People want to deal with people. They do not want to deal with a faceless, nameless person. So if you are in an area where, like North Dallas, where you can become the person that knows about AI, that friend that like, oh, he knows or she knows all that stuff, that is a much stronger position to be in than presenting yourself as some big agency that's going to do all this stuff. It's actually a superpower to be in their own area and helping them with these types of things. Now, after the subject line, we want to take a look at the first line hook. So this is really what drives people to keep reading. So again, I mentioned being in your own backyard and making a connection with these people. Remember, we're trying to start a conversation. We're trying to build trust. So we want to talk about things that they'll relate to and let them know that, hey, we are part of their group. So like in this instance, I would say things like, hey, I'm Tom. I live here in North Dallas. I'm a business owner in North Dallas. Like I would want to bring that connection in early on, right? So mention location, niche. You know, if you're, have experience in their type of business, you could say, hey, I used to be a restaurant manager. I could say, hey, I used to be a restaurant manager. So I get how it all goes, right? I'm trying to build that personal connection there. Or the reason you're reaching out. Again, we're spotlighting North Dallas's businesses that make our area great. Avoid generic intros like, I hope this finds you well, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that you can test in your emails is a neighborly tone versus a professional tone, right? Local markets almost always respond better to neighborly over professional. And I see so many people that are trying to break into this business that think they have to be this, make it look like there's big important agency and super professional. And that actually doesn't go over when you don't have the credentials and the proof to back it up. It actually works against you. So if you're just starting out, if you're just trying to get your first clients, lean into that. Let people know, hey, I started this little local community site because I'm trying to get clients from a marketing agency, and I thought this would be a great way to give back to the neighborhood. Like, lean into that kind of stuff. People love those types of things. Now, when it comes to the body copy, right? So this is really what determines the reply rate. So I think this is really the issue with the emails that we sent out for this 3,500 batch. And I'm going to show you how to get some suggestions from ChatGPT or Claude, whichever one you use. I'll give you the prompts for both. Again, if you comment on this video, hit subscribe, like, I will get that link over to you so you can have this exact document that I'm going through. But these are some things that you can focus on in your body copy. copy, clarity, one main goal, one reply or click. I'm going to show you our email in a minute. You'll see how we use that. Simplicity, don't use jargon, use short sentences. Benefit, social proof, credibility. These are some things that I think in our initial email we sent out to these 3,500 businesses that we were lacking and that we can improve on. Here's a pro tip for you. Short paragraphs, 2 to 3 lines, plenty of white space, big blocks of text really kill response rates. People aren't going to read all that stuff, right? Then the call to action, this has got to be crystal clear and low friction. So in the email I'm going to show you in a minute, our call to action is, here's your business information. We just need to know if it's correct. Just reply yes. And that's one of the beauties of the Smart Directory AI cold email prospecting approach, is that people, when their information is online, they want it to be correct. So this initial email we sent out is really designed to actually get them to reply, because they want to make sure their information is correct when it's listed online, and it works really, really well. Now, in this case, because again, I'm not sure the quality lists, all that stuff, we had some credibility issues, which we're going to fix. But once you get those online, this approach works fantastic. I talked about follow-up. I'll get into a little more on that in a minute, because I think that's another piece of fixing this low response rate to this initial email that we sent out. But follow-up, you've heard it, fortunes in the follow-up. It's more true today than ever before. I got to spend some time talking to Neil Patel at the HighLevel event in Dallas recently. And one of the things he told me was like, look, people have to see your message and your stuff, over a dozen times before they'll even consider responding. So the days of just sending one email or a couple of emails and people just being like, oh, you're the greatest thing and I just want to hire you and pay you, are over. The market is extremely saturated. It's very crowded. It's only going to get worse because of AI. So it's going to require more touch points, more follow-up, more things like that. And this, again, is why I recommend that you don't use a gigantic list, because you cannot appropriately follow up with those people when you're like, it's going to be very hard to follow up with 772 people. Like, we've got 772 people that have opened this email. That's a lot, right? So, when you focus on quality and smaller size lists, you can really focus on follow up and let's just keep getting in front of them until we break through that wall and we get a response. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of this stuff on this particular training, but there are deliverability and technical things that you can look at as well. But here's my recommendation on this. I see so many people get wrapped up in this technical stuff and they try to get it all in line before they send emails. Don't do that. Start sending your emails, because once you have a message that gets attention and gets opened, all of this stuff can be tweaked and fixed. If you wait and try to fix all this stuff first, and then you start sending emails and your message and offer is crappy, no one's going to respond and you're going to be stuck. So better to not have all of this stuff 100%, but be working on your offer and your emails and getting attention. And then once you get something that connects, then go back and really dial all this stuff in later. This is not what you should be doing. I mean, do the basics, but you should not be trying to do advanced stuff here until you have a message that resonates, gets opens, get replies, and gets results. I had one student that was going crazy with all of this optimization and asking me what kind of hacks can I get for more deliverability? Look, there's really no hacks that are going to increase deliverability. Write good emails, have great content, have good offers that people want to get and respond to. That's really the secret. So work on that first and then get back to all of that other stuff. Again, same thing here. These are kind of some smaller tweaks with timing. I prefer to prospect on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I leave Mondays and Fridays out. You can kind of look over this as well. And then trust and visuals, right? Applying a human element to your emails is really key as well. Again, people buy from people. So, send your emails from a name, not a company. Instead of sending it from your business, send it from Tom at, your business. Maybe include your photo. That makes it more personal. I mentioned earlier, mentioning that you're local to the area, all of those kinds of things. Maybe link to your website or social profiles to show that you're a real person. You're a legitimate person emailing them, not just some nameless, faceless thing out there trying to get information from them. Now, here are the metrics that we like to track when we're doing cold email: open rate, reply rate, click rate, deliverability. I got some notes in here for this that you can look when you look over the document. Again, all you have to do is like, share, subscribe, post a comment below. I'll get you this document as well. Here's 5 levers to improve your emails fast. And I'll go over these in a minute, but I want to show you exactly how I improved this email. So here's the prompt that I have for ChatGPT. And here at the bottom is the actual email that we sent to these 3,500 businesses. So let me show you how I use ChatGPT to analyze this email and tell me exactly what I need to do and what I should be testing next. So a couple things about this email. First, you see these big blocks again. This is, these are called custom objects. This is a part of the tech stack we use for HighLevel. It fills in their custom information here. So when this goes out, it will have the business's name, address, phone number, website, all of this information. And we don't have to do that manually for each and every email. That allows us to prospect more efficiently and do more things. So when you see these things, that's what those are. So here's what you do to check these out. So the first thing you do is you copy this prompt. So this prompt basically says, and you can see it here, I sent the following cold email, and it's included below. My goal was to get business owners to reply and confirm their listing info from my community directory site. I sent this to 3,500 prospects. I give them the actual stats from the email and how many I sent, right? And then I have, this is what I want you to do to help me out. Again, you can have this entire prompt. You don't have to screen capture this or remember it. Just leave a comment below. Me or somebody from my team will post a link so you can go get this. But here's the prompt. So now I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste that in, and you can see there's this little spot here where you paste in your email. So if you have a different email that you're trying to improve, you would put that in here. I'm just going to put the one that we sent in here. And now you're going to see when I hit process this, ChatGPT is actually going to look at my prompt. It's going to analyze this email, and then it's going to start telling me exactly what I need to do, right? Look, you got a strong foundation here. The email's intent is good. Below is a full expert breakdown with actionable fixes. So now here's the email analysis, the tone, the clarity, right? The structure, the trust, the conversion. So here's some actionable improvements that I can do in this email, right? So use a real person plus the local angle, right? I didn't do that in that initial email. So subject line personalization, timing, right? Maybe test up the timing, list hygiene. Here's a way to increase replies and engagement. So ChatGPT, or there's also a prompt in here if you use Claude. I have that in here too. The same prompt optimized for Claude. This will tell you exactly what to do. So now you can look at this and go, here's some subject lines I could test if I want to test different subject lines, right? Here's a revised email example. It actually gives me a whole new email revised with those suggestions that it made. Like, this normally would have taken me hours and hours and hours to go through and look, and ChatGPT just pops it right out, right? And then here's a whole bunch of other things for an email follow-up sequence, okay? And then how to do design and trust enhancements. So what would I do in this particular, so here's an action checklist. I mean, right? Like, this is awesome stuff. I can just go down this, start making these changes, and resend these people through. So here's how I would use this to actually improve that email performance. So first off, we have 772 people that opened our email. So I would take those 772 people and put them into a new email automation that's like a longer term nurture. So I would not send them back through the same emails they've been through. I would have, actually, you could just have ChatGPT do it. Like, hey, I could just say, I want to send the 772 who opened a new email based on above. Please write it for me. And now ChatGPT will use all of that stuff, and it will make new subject lines and a new email that I can send to those 772. So those people are already not cold anymore, right? They opened our email. 239 of them clicked a link. We don't just want to throw those aside. We should move those into a new follow-up sequence. I would probably even start calling those leads and saying, hey, I reached out to you. I'm the owner. I own the site. I just need to verify the information. I noticed you didn't claim your listing, or I'd have somebody on my team do that. Or I would use voice AI to do that. So one of the awesome things we have in Smart Directory AI is the ability to use voice outbound AI to do that follow-up calls for us. So we don't have to hire anybody. We don't have to do it. It will get them to verify their information, and it all goes on to sell them an upgraded listing and other marketing services. So we've actually just already built all that out. So you can use ChatGPT to do it, or whatever system you have, right? So ChatGPT will give you the follow-up emails. So number one, when you get traction, when people actually open the emails, take the people that opened and put them into another segment so you can continue to nurture those leads. Don't be afraid to reach out with them with the phone call and additional emails to try to get that going. Now, I would take the other 2,800 people that didn't open my email, and I would make some changes to this initial email like ChatGPT recommended up here, and then I would just run those 2,800 back through. And again, anyone who opened, clicked the link, claims, I would move them over into the new segment, and then probably every 30, 60 days, just run that list through until I'm not getting any opens, responses, or anything like that. So that's how we can use tools like ChatGPT, AI to improve our cold email outreach and performance, and give us a step-by-step process that we can do so we're not flying in the dark, right? All of these things, I've been in this marketing game for a long time. All of this stuff it's recommending here is top-notch stuff. And it all comes from this prompt that you can see right here. And again, you can have this prompt, you can have the one optimized for Claude, you can have all the stuff in here as well. If you just subscribe, like, leave a comment below, I'll get that link over to you as well. So the 5 biggest levers to improve fast. I just wanted to go over this real quick. Because these are 5 things, regardless of what you're doing, that you can do. So rewrite your subject line, first line to sound local, personal, and curiosity driven. Use a human sender identity, not support team or your business name. Add one clear benefit. In our example, it would be, we'll feature your business at no cost. Notice I didn't use the word free. That's kind of a spam trigger word. So I use words like no cost, right? Complimentary. Create 3 to 5 email follow-up sequence that we can take everybody that open and run them through, and ensure domain health and deliverability before scaling sends. So again, I think one of the downsides of this approach was sending 3,500 before we started to evaluate. I like to send in a lot smaller batches, a few hundred, so we can see, do we have a winner? Once we know we have a winner, then we scale the winner out. That's how successful entrepreneurs grow their businesses. You start small, we send to a few hundred, we see what kind of responses we get. Once we find a winner, once we have a winning message, a winning subject line, then we scale that and roll it out big time as well. All right, look, that's it for this video. Again, if you'd like more stuff like this, like the video, subscribe, hit the notifications. That lets YouTube know you'd like to see more stuff like this from me. I would love to hear a comment from you. Again, if you want the PDF, all that stuff, leave a comment below. Me or the team will get that to you. Again, the tech stack we were using, HighLevel SmartDirectory.ai. In the comments, there's links for free trials of both of those if you want to check them out. And I also have a free course called the AI Smart Launch Lab, where I show you how you can get an AI business off the ground in 72 hours, helping local businesses right in your own area implementing AI to improve their results and grow their revenue, and they will pay you handsomely for that. So if you'd like to check that out, there's also a link in the comments where you can subscribe to, or you can sign up for that. Again, it's absolutely free. All right, look, that's it for this video. My name is Tom Gaddis. I'm one of the co-founders of Smart Directory AI. Again, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in a future video.